Welcome, Wrestling Warriors. You're tuned in to Wrestle Watch Central, your daily dose of WWE. Hit that bell, and let's get started. WarGames was supposed to be the climax, the night of high stakes and ultimate showdowns. But what happened instead became the beginning of a whole new story. A hooded figure emerged in the chaos, delivering a shocking stomp to CM Punk and leaving the arena buzzing with questions. The match that had been defined by intense action and near finishes suddenly turned into a mystery, one that dominated social media, sparked endless theories, and had fans debating every move, every camera angle, and every possible identity of the unknown attacker. This wasn't just about who won or lost. It was about how a single unexpected moment could reshape storylines, relationships, and fan expectations overnight. The WarGames chaos. How it all unfolded. The men's WarGames match had already been a battlefield, with bodies scattered, chairs and cages creating a scene of organized chaos, and each team giving everything they had. Just when it seemed like the finish was approaching, a hooded figure scaled the cage and struck CM Punk with precise signature-looking moves. The suddenness of the attack allowed Team Vision to capitalize, and a decisive spear led to the pinfall, turning a hard-fought victory into a dramatic story beat. Fans didn't just react to the match outcome, they reacted to the unknown, to the fact that someone completely unannounced had intervened and immediately changed the narrative in a way that felt cinematic and unpredictable. Immediate fallout. The internet reacts? Within minutes, the internet exploded. Clips were shared, theories were proposed, and debates flared about the attacker's identity. Was it a returning superstar, a current roster member in disguise, or a completely new figure making a big statement? Every fan had an opinion, and speculation ran wild across Twitter, Instagram, and wrestling forums. Even minor camera glimpses backstage added fuel to the fire, showing the hooded figure near Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, hinting at possible connections and prompting fans to start piecing together the story like detectives. The mix of mystery, timing, and carefully framed visuals created a moment that transcended a single match, setting the stage for weeks of conversation. Backstage footage, clues, and questions. The subtle but suggestive backstage shots became critical pieces of the puzzle. Quick flashes captured the hooded figure in proximity to Roman and Jey Uso, creating the impression of planning or coordination. Even without explicit confirmation, fans began to wonder whether this was part of a larger angle, a strategic move to destabilize CM Punk or assert dominance over the narrative. In wrestling, perception is as important as reality, and these images did exactly what they were meant to do: create questions and spark theories. Was Roman pulling strings behind the scenes? Or was this simply an opportunity for a new character to be introduced? Either way, the ambiguity worked to heighten suspense and engagement. Theories and possibilities. Several ideas quickly emerged about the identity and purpose of the hooded figure. One popular theory suggested a returning star, with the attack mimicking moves that only certain wrestlers are known for, perfect for creating buzz and a surprise comeback. Another possibility is a current roster member under disguise, which is easier to coordinate production-wise and ensures the mystery can be extended for narrative payoff. A third angle includes the introduction of a new talent or independent wrestler, adding a fresh face and creating intrigue about future storylines. Finally, some theories suggested the entire scenario could be a red herring, designed to manipulate audience perception and steer suspicion toward Roman, while keeping the real plan hidden. Each possibility has storytelling potential, and the beauty lies in the uncertainty. Strategic storytelling, Roman's advantage. If Roman is involved, the hooded figure serves multiple narrative purposes. A mystery attacker allows him to operate with plausible deniability, keeping rivals like CM Punk vulnerable while publicly maintaining control. It can also destabilize alliances, creating tension among fan favorites and compelling audiences to follow every interaction to see how loyalties shift. From a creative perspective, This type of storyline strengthens Roman's character as a master tactician, someone who doesn't need to act overtly to maintain dominance, but who influences outcomes from behind the scenes. It's a storytelling technique that rewards viewers for paying attention while leaving room for surprises and long-term payoff. CM Punk's role, the catalyst. CM Punk remains central to the unfolding narrative. His reaction to the assault will determine the direction of the story in the coming weeks. Will he pursue calculated revenge, using strategy and intellect to dismantle his opponents? Or will he act on instinct, leading to chaotic confrontations that keep audiences on edge? Both outcomes serve storytelling purposes. A measured Punk builds suspense and heightens tension, while an impulsive Punk creates unpredictability and dynamic television. Either way, his role as the victim of the attack elevates his importance and ensures that every angle, backstage interaction, and match involving him carries added weight. Production choices. Maximizing ambiguity. WWE's use of editing, camera angles, and selective reveals is key to making the moment feel larger than life. Grainy backstage footage, fleeting glimpses of the hooded figure, and strategically framed shots of Roman and Jey Uso are all tools designed to provoke speculation and engagement. The careful withholding of information encourages fans to theorize, discuss, and rewatch segments, effectively extending the impact of the original moment. It's a demonstration of how production choices can elevate storytelling, turning a single match conclusion into a multi-week narrative conversation across social media, podcasts, and fan forums. Faction dynamics. The Bloodline's role. The involvement of Roman and Jey Uso raises questions about the Bloodline faction itself. Is this a signal that Roman is adding a new ally, subtly bolstering the group's power? Or is it a deliberate misdirection, using the appearance of coordination to obscure the real plan? Both scenarios serve different purposes. One reshapes the faction and introduces new energy, while the other manipulates perception to create intrigue and suspense. Either approach strengthens the narrative and adds layers to the faction's role in ongoing storylines, giving fans multiple angles to consider and anticipate. Fan engagement. The power of mystery. Moments like this thrive because they spark conversation. Fans dissect every clip, speculate endlessly about motives, and eagerly await reveals. This type of storytelling leverages audience curiosity, keeping viewers invested not just in the outcomes of matches, but in the interpersonal and faction-based dynamics that drive long-term arcs. The mystery attacker is a masterstroke in engagement. It encourages replays, discussions, and social sharing, turning one short in-ring moment into a weeks-long narrative engine. Wrestling fans are drawn to suspense, and this scenario provides it in spades. Looking ahead, what's next? As the story unfolds, the next steps will reveal the impact of this mysterious attack. Will CM Punk pursue retribution in dramatic fashion? Will Roman's cryptic positioning pay off as a strategic victory? Will the hooded figure be revealed as a new talent, a returning superstar, or a cleverly disguised roster member? Every angle has consequences, and every choice the writers make now will affect not just individual storylines, but the overarching narrative of faction dominance, personal rivalries, and audience investment. The beauty of wrestling storytelling lies in this uncertainty. Fans never know exactly what's coming next, which keeps every moment exciting and every reveal impactful. Conclusion: the moment that redefined the night. What began as a high-stakes WarGames match transformed into a multi-layered narrative full of suspense, strategy, and unanswered questions. The hooded figure's attack on CM Punk, Roman Reigns' cryptic response, and the subtle backstage cues have created a storyline that extends far beyond a single match result. It's a reminder that wrestling thrives on surprise, ambiguity, and character-driven tension, where every detail can influence audience perception. As fans, we're left analyzing every camera angle, theorizing about motives, and eagerly anticipating the next twist. It's these moments of uncertainty that make wrestling compelling, keeping viewers engaged, curious, and excited for what comes next.